Dr. Zondi, welcome to Coffee with Grant and KZN Top Business.
Thank you very much, Grant. It's good to be here.
Dr. Zondi, you've had quite an incredible career path. Why don't you fill us in a little bit about how you got to where you are today?
So I had a couple of highlights in my career. I think one of them was when I was a young engineer in Cape Town. It was quite intense. I learned a lot. I think that's where I really honed my technical skills. And also when I was at Transnet, because it was a change of career, I moved from being an engineer into a logistics company. It was quite interesting, including the time I spent overseas. It was quite insightful. And of course, government, I think I spent the most time in my career in a senior position in the National Government Department. And I think one of the things I liked about it was policy development. Because policy obviously shapes the way the ecosystem functions. For example, if policy has to do with industry, you know that developing and formulating it, you need to take great care and diligence because the implications are quite huge. But yeah, I ended up here after 20 years experience working for both the private sector and public sector. Then I became the executive chair of SanDock Austral, which I enjoy very much.
In your current position, what is your responsibility and what is your vision?
Yeah, in my current responsibility, I am chairing the board of SanDock Austral, so the group. And SanDock Austral have several companies. We actually in maritime, aerospace and defense. So we have the largest shipyard in south of Saharan Africa, and we have operations in Johannesburg. We have factories around Pretoria as well. So, and in the aerospace side, we actually develop bespoke technologies for the aerospace industry. Mainly for defense, although we do work for the civil environment as well. So my responsibility is basically to develop the strategy of the group and direct the group according to the vision. Our vision for the group is currently SanDock Austral is the largest 100% black-owned defense entity in South Africa. And we want to build it into the most valuable group in the African continent. And we're looking at collaborations and cooperations. So if you think about a situation where we provide a platform and you have several companies coming to plug in their capabilities, and we put together the capabilities to package a solution that is integrated and that can be marketed for exports, for example. Because one of the challenges that we are faced with in the defense and security sector is that the local budget has declined in the last 5 years severely. And the survival of defense and security companies do not lie in local spending, but they lie in exports. And if you're gonna compete in exports, you need to make sure that you put competitive products out there.
Okay, Dr. Zondi, I did love the way you've summed up the local market, the international market, and how important that is. On the other side of things, you have a really, really strong community and empowerment ethos that maybe you can just fill us a little bit on.
Yes, actually, if we are very community and social oriented. And if you look at our vision, it's actually quite unique for a company that is in defense and security space, because you find we talk about things like prosperity and peace and security, equitable sharing of prosperity and things like that. It's unheard of in the defense environment. But it's because the way we look at it is that we actually are in the business for a greater good. One of the subsidiaries of SanDock Austral, for example, has 30% shareholding by the military veterans. The reason we did that is because the government have been talking about the imperative to ensure that military veterans are incorporated into the main economic activity, the mainstream economic activity. We encourage our stakeholders, including our clients and our employees, to actually initiate CSI programs. I mean, we recently built a school facility in the Eastern Cape, which was initiated by one of our clients. We build libraries at school. We supply schools with books and things that they need. We have the largest apprenticeship and in-service training program. I think as a young engineer, I can remember that one of the biggest challenges was to actually get engineering training after university. And we provide them with that. We have the largest program in the province that does that.
I think it's an incredible ethos that you developed.
That's right. So it ends up being a culture is absorbed in the ecosystem of clients, service providers, and all the stakeholders we deal with.
And then that spreads. That's incredible.
Yeah.
So projects going forward as a company, what and yourself, what are the projects going forward?
A very exciting project right now that we are looking at is we've been given our maritime heritage. We've been looking at how could we increase the efficiencies of the sea-based trade in the African continent. And while you have maybe poor port infrastructure in a number of coastal countries in Africa, but you also have inland waterways that are quite expansive. You have huge rivers actually going through several countries that are landlocked. And this is actually a big opportunity for trade, intercontinental trade in those countries. So we're looking at manufacturing, designing and manufacturing barges that can be used to move all types of different cargoes in between these countries, and obviously making sure that there is also connectivity between coastal countries as well as landlocked countries using waterways. Yeah, I think the other exciting project I can talk about is that in the aerospace side of our business, we are currently in advanced talks with several government entities that have what we call MRO facilities. MRO stands for maintenance, repairs and overhaul. And for example, some of them have very strong capabilities in rotary aircraft MRO, and then others have strong capabilities in fixed wing MRO. And we're saying these can benefit in some consolidation, in some rationalization, and obviously coming as a private sector, we're coming in to make sure the efficiencies are improved and we can get work not only for South African operators, aviation operators, but also for the region as well.
Dr. Zondi, it's been a great pleasure in having you on Coffee with Grant and Kazing and Top Business. And I'm really, really looking forward to watching that space with SanDock Austral and where it's going as a South African company all over the world, because you have solutions, and I just love the ethos that you bring to the table.
No, thank you very much, Grant. I must say as well, it's always a pleasure to get a platform to actually communicate our vision so that we can get maybe even our potential partners out there as excited as we are about this, because we really believe that with partnerships and collaborations, this country has huge, immense potential, and we are here to make sure it's realized. But thank you for the opportunity. Really appreciate it.
Absolute pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.